Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. We are coming live from the Pacific Northwest. All-Star Week is here. Who's disappointing us? State of the Union? Trev, touching me. EBD, go full contact. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Myself, Trevor Plouffe, Big Baby David, coming live from Seattle, Washington for the 111th annual All-Star Game.
How many is it for real?
I feel like I should have looked that one up. I definitely overshot it because I think it started in like the 40s. Anyways.
I think they used to do two of them. That was like Chris Rose was saying all these fun facts about the All-Star game.
Chris Rose was at him.
We should wake Chris Rose up right now.
No, don't wake Chris Rose.
How many are there? Right over there.
Instead of Googling
Not
things,
for long.
Just ask Chris Rose questions. What's going on, everyone? We're here.
93rd edition of the Midsummer Classics. I think that's probably
Okay.
we'll announce.
Everybody knows that.
Okay, that's my bad. How you doing, Trev? We a little travel day yesterday for you. I've been here for 2 days now.
Yeah, no, I'm doing great. I'm excited. I love doing stuff together. The vibes just resonate through the room.
Yeah, I feel it.
When you and I get together, Beeb's over there. We went out last night. A little bit of MLB Players House, a couple glasses of red, right? What'd you drink?
I was having some, Seattle double IPA. Why is that my Seattle voice?
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. You just need a nose ring now.
Yeah.
If you had a nose ring, you're in. No, we're doing great. It's early in the morning. Chris Rose is asleep, like literally right over there.
Yeah.
Zach
He's
is
within
down
20
there.
feet.
He's maybe alive. We're not sure.
He's having
With
sex.
Zach. He might be. He might be.
I think he's having
But yeah,
sex.
93rd All-Star Game. We're going to the Home Run Derby later today. We got our cool jerseys on. Check these out. I'm popping my chain because obviously when you go to the All-Star Game, you got to be show.
All right.
And, yeah, man, I'm living. I'm excited to talk ball. It's a little State of the Union app. Where do the teams stand? I mean, we're 90 games in, essentially.
Right.
So much more than halfway. That's a math equation for you guys to do at home.
9. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're obviously going to hit, some of the big boys. I think it's kind of funny that, the Braves, we'd probably say a lot of the same stuff we'd normally say. They're really good.
Braves are good.
There's a couple teams that have kind of limped into the break a little bit that I'm
Say
excited.
that again.
I'm not going to say limp. Jess is also sleeping.
Jess is right
a
there.
couple feet over.
I think
Why
she's
did you
awake.
think of Jets when you said
right
that?
next to Chris Rose. Everyone has their stuff,
Okay.
We're
off to a great
one AL
start.
team in particular I'm kind of mad at. And the games were actually kind of fun this weekend. So we're going to burn through them, and then we're going to hit some of the big topics. And Trev, I kind of haven't processed. We've been doing so much stuff. We're content guys. Yesterday we're cranking videos.
Wow.
That the Home Run Derby and then our live event tomorrow, still tickets available.
Sure.
Like how fun those are, I haven't even gotten there yet.
Well,
because I have to check so many boxes before we get there.
We come here to work.
We're working.
And we're like midway through the work.
Yes.
This episode, we're going to record another one. But yes, we have Homer Derby tonight, which will be like 10 or 11 of us. And then the big watch party tomorrow, which will be hundreds of people. And it's going to be a day, man. But guess what? We like it.
We're different. We're not the same.
Like it.
It's going to be a lot of heavy petting
this
episode.
Already.
Let's get into
What's
some.
Monday? AL, NL?
Nobody knows.
We don't know.
Nobody knows.
I seriously,
I just make it up every
asked that
time.
because I think you make it up.
I don't. It's AL.
AL.
AL on
Alphabetical.
Mondays.
Dude, Siri, go away.
Oh, God. What's the
I've
deal
been
with
battling with
Siri?
Siri. It's like Gophers to Crows, now to Siri. I think it's not good because Crows are diabolical. Siri is a robot computer thing.
There aren't crows like
I'm in
known
trouble.
evil.
I'm in trouble. Birds aren't real. Whatever. Okay.
Might hear about bird dogs later. Right now, you're going to hear about Factor. That's right. First time with Talkin' Baseball, Beebs?
First read on this show.
Okay.
And we're excited.
So Factor's been with us for a little bit. They raided the office a few weeks back, and we had a bunch of these meals in the fridge. And if you've worked anywhere ever, you know that's an interesting conversation starter. Whose meals are those? Can we eat those? Are those up for grabs? Turns out they were. Our guy Joe's McFly has been going ham on the Factor meals. And Trev, I'm excited. When we get back, I believe we have some Factor waiting for us because they were going to send us another box. And we were like, well, we're actually going to be in Seattle ripping some cold brews.
Yeah, obviously.
So it's going to be there waiting for us. It's delicious, sure. But it's healthy. That's kind of the specialty here. And I'll be honest, I was skeptical. You're telling me a healthy pre-made meal? Going to be honest with you. I've ran into some bad ones with those. Factor's legit. And with code TALKIN50, code TALKIN50, factormeals.com. Oh, my God. 50% off.
What?
That's the 50. I didn't even put that together yet. There's a
How are they
link.
going to stay in business?
There's a link in the description. They've got like keto and calorie smart ones. What did I have? I think there's like a pulled pork with mashed taters. Yeah, I leaned into that. So go check out Factor.
That's just stop.
Talkin' 50.
Mashed taters.
Talking 50. You would pull the pork.
Oh, that's where you were? That's what you had? All right.
Start the AL.
American League Baseball, Trevor, and we were starting with my Seattle Mariners because we won a big series, 3 out of 4 from the Houston Astros, which means a couple different things, Trev. They won 3 out of 4 from the Astros. They come into the All-Star break in Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, a game above 500.
I know.
And, every time the broadcast starts talking about the Mariners are a game below. No, Mariners are actually a game above 500. They're playing a good brand of baseball. I think that's so massive. And my guy Logan Gilbert. That's not a Seattle voice.
That's not a Seattle voice at all.
Get grungy with it.
Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, Brian Woo-Woo, and George Kirby, your boy. They all pitched really well. I think we got 6 innings out of each starter. Eugenio Suarez, our whole standout performance is Mariners hitters.
Your hole.
My hole. Yeah. Don't say my hole. The game Houston won, Framber was on the bump. Maybe your best pitcher in the American League. Kind of sneaky important for Seattle. We'll talk about them. The Guardians take 3 out of 4 from the Royals. Okay, your first place, Guardians, Trevor Plouffe. It's a vibe. Savali drops it. Gavin Williams, top prospect with 8 strikeouts. Our guy Yarbrough's back.
He's back.
Twirling the pill for KC. He wins it in the final game. You might hear some stuff about the Naylor brothers. 3 of them now that are in our lexicon. Josh Bell has a big game. Ahmed Rosario. And Chris Rose has a Guardians baby video that just went out on JM Baseball, so make sure you go check that out. Mid-read. The Baltimore Orioles sweep the Minnesota Twins.
It was a tough one.
Trev.
They need some power.
What, dude? They lose that first game in extras. This was in Minnesota, too, right?
Yeah, heading into the break and swept below 500, lose first place.
That last game is 15-2. Kyle Gibson.
Don't talk about Kyle Gibson.
How about the Orioles, man? We got to talk about them. The Blue Jays take 2 out of 3. Old friend Alek Manoah back on the bump, and he drops it. 6 innings, 1 earned run. Happy for him. You should be rooting for him. What happened the next day? Combined no-hitter. Your guy, Matt Manning. You DM'd him after he was stoked.
Yep.
Pretty cool for you guys. And then they lose the series. Blue Jays. You know who had a massive homer to save the series for Toronto? Little Danny Jansen.
I know. I knew it.
Danny Jansen did. Good for Toronto, maybe. Red Sox sweep the Oakland Athletics, and that's obvious. The only game that kind of came into question was the last game. The Sox kid, they come back in that one. Yoshida, Duvall in the last one. Jaron Durant. Sox fans are like getting nutty with him, and I kind of get it. He's been killing it. Good for him. And that is what happened in your American League. Dude.
Way to go, bruh.
Is my Seattle voice a bad California voice?
It sounds like an Orange County voice to me.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a Seattle voice would sound like.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're kind of buttoned up here. It's always cold.
Are they gentle?
I think they're a little ornery, bro.
Oh.
They stay inside a lot.
They're wired. A lot of coffee.
They yell at us a lot.
Seattle people.
Or me, in particular.
Seattle people do yell at us. Trev.
They yell at us.
Rays, 58 and 35.
Sheesh.
Pretty good first half, right?
Well, could have been better.
Limping in. And the Baltimore Orioles are 2 games back at 54 and 35. Same number in the loss column. How about that? The Toronto Blue Jays land in 3rd place, mostly because of the disappointment from my New York Yankees. And Boston is a game back of the Yanks, 7, 8, 9 games back of the Rays. I mentioned the Guardians are in 1st place at 45 and 45.
Is that funny to you? Why do you
I don't
talk
know
about
what
it
it
like
is. I don't know what it is.
Tough division.
Tough for what, Pop?
Wins.
Tough to watch. Twins, 45 and 46, a half game back. The Detroit Tigers. Know it might be a little a measuring stick for me this episode.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Is your team closer to 1st place than the Detroit Tigers?
Interesting.
Because the Detroit Tigers are 39 and 50. They are 5.5 games back of 1st place.
They're right there.
That is closer than the Blue Jays, the Yankees, and the Red Sox. My God. White Sox are 8 games back, same as the Yankees. Kill me. Kansas City Royals, oh my God. I think they're 2nd most losses heading into an All-Star break.
It's tough.
That's crazy. Texas Rangers, 52 and 39, one of the stars of the first half. But the Houston Astros are 2 games back and feel like they haven't even clicked this year. Seattle Mariners, like I said, they salvage the whole season by being 1 game above 500. The Los Angeles Angels are a game below 500.
Yeesh.
The Oakland Athletics are awful. Trev, you mentioned you want to go more State of the Union. I agree with you. What did you just hear in my 5 minutes of rambling between the Burns, the standings?
I think we could go division by division. You want to start with the AL Central? We can start with the AL Central. I think the Guardians are a very fascinating team as we approach the deadline. They get to 500. They get the lead in the Central going into the break, whereas the Twins, they jockeyed back and forth over the last couple weeks. But before that, the Twins had held 1st place pretty much the entire way. And now they have these decisions to make on Bieber, and they got some guys coming back, and where are they going to be as an organization? I feel like they always kind of toe the line of we sell a little bit, we buy a little bit. They're never one way or the other necessarily. So I'm very curious to see where they go. The Twins have coughed the lead up, man, and they just haven't hit with runners in scoring position. They haven't hit in general.
Right.
But in particular in this series, I mean, just no hits with runners in scoring position, and the Orioles are kind of rolling offensively, so that's how sweeps happen. And you can't score runs, and the other team is scoring runs. That's how sweeps happen. So now they're sitting 1 game back. They lost 3 in a row, obviously, and despite having, I think it's as of now, the 2nd best starting pitcher ERA in all the big leagues. They're 1 game under 500. 2nd place in their own division, and it's crazy, man. I don't know what to say about them other than they need instant offense, and I don't know where that's going to come from.
Let's cut out a little bit of the riffraff in the Central. I mentioned that Tigers barometer. Snaps on the no-hitter.
Oh, yeah.
Happy
I don't know
for
why
the
you're
guys.
snapping there. Maybe I thought you were going to say for the word barometer, because that's a big one for you. But for the no-hitter, 2 snaps.
Can't. Some good barometer humor early. This division is Twins Guardians, and one of them will not be a wild card team. The Twins or the Guardians will be in the playoff. Right now, what would you guess the Fangraphs odds to win the division are?
I bet they're still in Minnesota's favor, I think. And I would give it like a 60% to win the division.
You're around it. They have Minnesota as 56% and Guardians at 40%. So there's 2% for the Tigers
I don't know why.
and the White Sox.
Like why do they have them? I mean, what's up with that?
With which
why
number?
why would you have the Twins favored to win the division? Just because of the pitching? They haven't shown any signs of life offensively. And I don't mean like to be rude. We have Eddie Julian doing some things. The Twins.
Yeah, look at you.
Yikes, guys. I'm not on the Twins. I don't know. I don't really understand that. But, yeah, there's going to be some teams that are selling. Kansas City's already sold Aroldis Chapman. Probably some more people are going to be gone from there. Maybe some relievers, Scott Barlow or something like that. White Sox are going to sell. Lucas Giolito is going to be somewhere new coming up. Tim Anderson might be somewhere. There's a lot of guys that are going to be changing teams. I don't think the Tigers are going to make a ton of moves. They want to be set up for the next couple of years.
Right.
So I think that's kind of where we stand in the Central. I think both the Guardians and the Twins need offense. I think that's no secret there, and where they go to get it, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what's interesting here for me is that I think if all things were equal, the Twins should be the favorites. Like I think Fangraphs has that.
I think part of that on strength of schedule wise, according to the website I'm looking at.
Sure.
The Twins have the easiest schedule remaining in baseball in the second half.
That's right.
Cleveland's middle of the pack.
You guys kept bringing that up on your draft episode, and I was
Yes.
like, well, the problem is they're a bad team. For the Twins, the pitching has been great. They need hitting. So that can come in a couple different ways. That can either someone clicks, someone comes off the IL, you call up a kid, or the trade deadline. I'm a lot more confident in what Minnesota will attempt to do because, they've been about it. They traded for Pablo Lopez. They signed Gallo. Like, this team, they extended Buxton. This team has shown that they want to go for it as a franchise, and they're, technically, on any given day, they're in first place. The conversation with the Guardians and Chris Rose, who's sleeping next to Jess right now, who's on the pulse of everything. He's been on that they're going to trade Bieber.
He keeps saying that. I know. I mean,
and I don't know, but I guess I'm saying front office and confident-wise what the next steps are. Like, Cleveland could either stand pat or trade away Bieber, and we'd be like...
I think they stand pat.
And we'd be like, okay, that's the Guardians.
I think they stand pat. And
where the Twins are going to do something.
That's the thing, though, is Falvey came out. I think we talked about this yesterday on Baseball Today a little bit. But Falvey came out, Derek Falvey. I don't know if he's a GM or head of baseball ops, whatever. One of those two. There's kind of a two-headed monster there. He came out and said that most of the offense needs to come from the guys there, the 26-man roster. So I don't know how aggressive they're going to be. They don't really have spots to put guys.
Right.
They don't. Like, we have Polanco coming back. Eddie Julian's been one of the better hitters on the Twins. So now you have to find a spot for those guys. Maybe Polanco plays first base when they come back. I think that's the one place they kind of need someone is like a legit first baseman. Kirillov's been starting there, then moving to the outfield during the games. They do a lot of like plug and play with that. So we'll see, man. From what they're saying, it's not going to be a very aggressive trade deadline. But that could just be GM speak.
Bring C.J. Cron home.
C.J. Cron, Paul Goldschmidt that I mentioned would like that. That's probably not happening, but
turn that off.
That.
Let's do some East.
Yes.
I'm too close to the situation, but I think if you've been following any of my tweets, I don't think you're getting a biased Yankee fan. I think you're getting an honest,
sad Yankee fan,
scared, sad Yankee fan. They just hired
like
their
hitting cat.
They just hired their hitting coach, or fired their hitting coach. Excuse me.
The opposite day.
The rumors are they might be hiring the next one soon.
Yeah,
what are the
might
rumors
be moving
there?
fast, which I don't.
They came out with
They said it's going to be someone outside the organization.
The bizarre
which
quote
doesn't really
was
happen mid-season.
They said they want to bring in someone from outside the organization, and they want to bring him in
during the All-Star break.
During the All-Star, they want them to be with the team in their first series.
I'm sure they have a couple, right? So they fired the head hitting coach. There's a
they have like 3 hitting coaches. But that's the weird part is, okay, you're bringing someone from the outside. You fired this person yesterday.
Yeah.
They already have someone lined up. Otherwise, you don't say we're going to hire.
Or they're down to 2.
You don't say we're going to hire someone from the outside.
They've been talking behind the scenes for sure. Yeah.
So I'm interested to see who that is.
And it seems like because they were kind of a 1A 1B hitting coach situation, and 1B's staying.
And by the way, it might not matter.
And I don't know who does what, but
the Rays are listed at 72% to win the division. The Orioles are listed at 12.7%, which is still just insulting.
Maybe you should just flop that around because they're 2 games back, and the Rays have lost 7 of 8 in July.
You're not worried about the Rays, though, right? I mean, that just feels like we limped into the break. We played the Braves.
It feels like every team's going to have a rough stretch throughout the season.
Yeah.
It just and every team's going to have a great stretch throughout the season. Maybe not a couple teams, but most teams will have a great stretch, which the Rays we saw in April had that, and they've continued that through the first couple months. But yeah, you're going to have a week of games, 2 weeks of games that just don't go your way, whether it's you play good teams or you just play a bad brand of baseball. I think it was good for them to at least get the last one before the break. If you roll into the All-Star
don't make
break,
it a thing.
8 in a row, that's kind of tough to swallow. That one game can just be like, all right, breathe, go ahead and hit the reset button over the All-Star break, although a lot of them are coming out here. That's going to be interesting to see. Like, all these teams have all these All-Star guys. They're not going to get a break. And this is like not a break whatsoever for them. If you talk to anybody that's ever been to an All-Star
Seattle,
game,
dude, to fly up here,
they are. They all charter and all that good stuff. But during these next few days, they get asked a lot to do a lot of media. The clubhouse is just different. They're signing a bunch of stuff. Like, they don't really have a lot of time to just chill and digest, if you will. So I'm curious to see, and you're doing Randy Rosarena is doing the home run derby, and will they come out better in the second half because of it, or will it be like a sluggish type of thing? I'm banking on the first.
It's going to be funny to see. They open with 3 games of the Kansas City Royals, so you can get off to a hot start out of the All-Star break.
Get off again.
Then they go to Texas. For them, I think it's funny being 1-7 in July. Can you turn that month around? Like, can you land at 500? They can, obviously. But if you stumble again, like, the Rays can look back and be like, "Whoa, we had a 8 for 18." Or no, they play less games. Be like a 7-16 July.
Well, they're just not going to win a game again in July, and that'd be bad.
I mean, they're going to win some games.
Yeah. But I mean, like, the Orioles catching them, they've found an offense that is just kind of firing right now. Gunnar Henderson's been going off. Aaron Hicks has become just like a stud once he got away from that hitting coach.
You should mention.
Just kidding. I don't even know who the hitting coach is.
So many more guys on the Orioles before Aaron Hicks.
I understand that. We're going to be talking about
They called up 2 more kids, dude.
Yeah,
Kauser and Westberg.
They're doing it, and they're kind of flexing their organizational depth on everybody right now.
Cedric Mullins, who's Jimmy's most electric player in baseball, he's kind of been, I don't know, I think if you went around the league and you did kind of like guys, like good leadoff hitters, like Cedric Mullins. I think the OPS doesn't always land in a crazy spot, but he can steal, he can hit homers. Right now it has them sliding Mullins down to 6 in the lineup. Henderson's kind of taken over the leadoff spot on some days because he's been going nuts. He hit an accidental homer against the Yankees the other day. These aren't the names you're probably most familiar with. Right now, Ryan O'Hearn has been getting a lot of middle of the lineup at bats, and he's been killing it. But, man, Austin Hayes, who's an all-star in their 5-hole. Kauser, Westberg, 2 top prospects for them, 7 and 8 on a given day. Their lineup's gnarly. Everyone's been scared about the pitching, and I don't know. The pitching's been fine. So do they do anything at the break? Before the deadline, excuse me.
We're going to do a whole trade draft coming up after this, so I don't want to give away a lot of things. I think they can be aggressive if they want to be aggressive. Things are kind of good there right now. I mean, you entered the break with a .607 winning percentage, so could you take a flyer on a rental starter? I think people will probably point there. But you mentioned, I mean, they have guys getting the job done, and then the bullpen's been great. So that's kind of the formula. Score a bunch of runs, get the ball in the hands of the bullpen. But, Wells for a while was leading the league in whip. He still has a .9 whip, so he's doing it. Gibby's pitched well enough for times, and Bradish has done his thing. Swerve and Irvin just shut the Twins down.
Do you bring this? Feels like a traditional just bring in a veteran pitcher and see if something clicks. Like where's Lance Lynn's contract at? Like
I think he's expiring.
Feels like he could pitch to that stadium. Just make him hit it to left field.
Yeah, maybe.
He's been striking everyone out. Are you buying any Blue Jays, Yankees, Red Sox, anything?
I feel like you kind of have to. And what are the wild card standings right now?
The Red Sox, hey, they just swept the Oakland Athletics.
5 in a row.
Good job. 5 in a row. They come into the break the right way.
So what do you mean buying stock? Because these are good teams that are obviously they're going to.
Like, do you think the Blue Jays could win the East? They're 7 games back. They just got Manoah back.
I do.
Okay.
Like, I'm not afraid of 7 games at this point. Now,
9 games for the Red Sox. I'm going to assume you're
I'm not into that. I'm not out on any of it because it's baseball and there's still plenty to be played. That would mean a lot of teams would have to slip.
So you're in on the Yankees winning the division too.
I'm in. Yeah, I think the division is still up for grabs. I am.
Okay.
Or I think so.
We got our clip. We can end the episode.
It's fine. End the episode. No, I'm serious, man. Like I know it's not probable. The likelihood of it isn't high, but when you're talking about, the Rays just lost 7 in a row. Like, things like this happen, and I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong. Have the Yankees, gone on a streak yet? The Yankees, for me, is all Aaron Judge if he comes back or not. They're not going to go on a run without Aaron Judge. So, bottle that up. Clip that one. And I guess...
See if the internet's talking about that
Yes,
yet.
yeah. I mean, obviously, people know that. If you watch the Yankees at all, you're like, please, Aaron Judge. I think he played catch on the field. That's good for you guys.
You think all 5 teams could win the AL East?
I don't think it's probable, but yes. I mean, weirder things have happened. 9 games, I know seems like a lot, and to jump that many teams is a lot, but I don't know, man. There's still a lot of baseball to be played. If I had to give a percentage for each team in the East, let's see if I can do that right now.
Trevor Plouffe's percentage.
For the Red Sox to come back for 9 games down,
9 games
it's going to take a lot. I give that a 20% chance to happen. For the Yankees to come back
win the division?
Yeah.
20%.
Is that a big percent?
I mean, do the rest of the math, because yes.
There's only 80% left to split among 4 teams
there's 5
that are all
teams.
ahead of
Yeah,
them.
so
that would be giving everyone
Yankees get 21%. I didn't expect you to challenge me on this. I was just going to throw some arbitrary numbers out there, buddy. I thought 20% was low.
Just a couple Stanford, man.
I don't know. There's a chance. Don't make me talk about it too much. Do I think the Rays have a stranglehold on the division right now?
No.
I don't.
No.
Do I think the Orioles have a stranglehold on the division? No. Would I be surprised if one of Toronto, Yankees, or Boston was within 2 or 3 games in September? No. Think about that, dude. We still have the rest of July. We still have August and September. We're talking if you gain 2 games a month and you're the Yankees, you're right there.
So if I gave you... So maybe this is the exercise. If I said Rays versus the field in the AL East to win the division, you'd take the field, it sounds like.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Thank you. Young Chris Rose, they call me.
Shoot.
I mean, you got the Red Sox at funny.
And the Orioles have been right on them.
I don't know. That's a great question. I have to think about that. I don't want to just throw that out there for the internet to clip.
Go check it on Baseball Today. They'll steal
give that
it.
to C-Rose.
They'll repurpose that. I would.
I think I might take the field.
It's interesting because there's definitely a way to chop up their numbers if you take out April. That would be a little less impressive.
Okay. Let's talk about the West a little bit, and then we'll get into the National League. This is my most interesting division in all of baseball.
This was your answer.
Yes.
Because you did this on Baseball Today.
Stop breathing so much.
I can't. It's the altitude.
It's the altitude.
I had me and Jolly got lunch the other day while we were waiting for you guys.
Yeah.
And I just started to order and I just lost my words. And Jake, try to save it, recover. Mm-hmm. And I go, altitude out here. And she goes, we're at sea level.
We're at sea level.
And I was like, okay.
The ocean's right there.
All right. Well, you and me might not work out. I'm so mad at the Angels. I think the Shohei conversation is open. They dropped to fourth and they're a game below 500. I think we're going to be talking Shohei for the next 2 weeks.
We should be talking Shohei for
Which
the next
is a
2
good
weeks.
thing.
But if you talk to Angels fans, they'll tell you that Artie Moreno's not going to trade Shohei. That's just, he won't do it.
Right.
They want to be able to keep him and try to sign him back.
Well, I agree
I don't know
with
if
that.
that's I don't know if that's
That's part of the frustration without talking about it. They just got crushed by the injury bug. So I don't want to say I want to be fair to them, but they had like a whole infield catcher and Mike Trout on the IL, and that tied into them playing bad baseball, which makes sense.
It's like right when the people started talking about them having momentum.
I was happy for them. I've complimented them multiple times this year for keeping this conversation away because I don't think you can trade Shohei. Like, just the mass of all of it. A, what do you trade for him? B, how can you be a franchise that lets a person like that leave your franchise willingly? But now I think we're going to be talking about it, and I think it's not going to happen unless they would have to dig such a deep hole in the next week and a half, which they could do. It is the Halos. Oh.
The rest of the division is interesting to me. I was going to give an award to the Dodgers and Houston for kind of, I was going to call it the Twister Award, weathering the storm. That's a play on words. You know, they've been decimated with injuries as well to their starting staff. Altuve's now there. Alvarez has been out for a long time, so they've had to test their depth, and they've done a good job of it. I mean, they're sitting 9 games over 500, only 2 games back of the Rangers. The Rangers seemingly have had everything go right for them.
Right?
Everything's gone right for them. The pitching has been really good. The offense has been... We talk about the Braves offense all the time. Go look at the stats, man. The Rangers are right up there with them.
Five all-star starters.
Yes.
I know that's not everything, but
they're doing it, but they're only 2 games up. They kind of limped into the break, 3-7 in their last 10.
Doesn't that feel off, man? It feels like Houston. It feels like Houston's been laboring, and Texas has been the belle of the ball, and they're separated by 2 games.
2 games right now. Seattle has put themselves back into discussion. What are they going to do at the trade deadline? I'm so fascinated with this year's trade deadline because I think a lot of teams, with the expanded playoffs, a lot of teams think they have a chance.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how far they'll go as far as trade acquisitions and what they're willing to give up, but a lot of teams think they have a chance. Seattle being one of them. I think LA is a lot. The next couple of weeks are going to say a lot about them. I mean, Trout's out for at least 4 weeks, probably more like 6. You don't have that guy in the lineup. You're missing a bunch of other guys, like you mentioned.
It's their schedule.
They're beat up right now.
They open Astros, Yankees, Pirates, Tigers.
It's not a great. They got swept by the Dodgers, which we'll talk about in a little bit. 2-game set. How about this? Do they have a shot at the wild card? The Angels, 45-46. They're 5 games back. They got to catch the East teams.
I mean, man,
the pitching, they got some guys that can fucking
same record
throw
as
it
Minnesota.
And spin it up there, man.
Seattle just jumped them. The whole AL East is ahead of them. I don't know. I think maybe, and this is the saddest part of it, I think the Angels are going to end up out of it, and Shohei's going to keep doing his thing.
Okay. Yeah, I get it, man.
Isn't that the safest bet on the board if you had to press a button right now?
It seems like that's what happens.
If we did a Shohei Angels grid right now, and it was missed playoffs, make playoffs, trade Shohei, don't trade Shohei. The most filled out box would be they don't trade Shohei, they don't make the playoffs. And that's the worst case for baseball.
We're going to talk about it after the season, probably a lot. But if it ends up that Mike Trout and Shohei played together for 6 full years, essentially, and have nothing to show for it, it kind of grosses me out.
Yeah, it's like
a little bit. It's a bad taste.
It's like a fantastic thing about baseball and an awful thing about baseball. That it's it's such a team sport that it's not star driven. But when you have like two guys that people argue are the best on the same team, it feels like that should be more of something. And maybe that's a franchise reflection. I'm going to say this, and I probably say this every time we get together, Trev. You have some oven mitts for hands.
Yeah.
That's a fucking pot, dude.
Thanks, bro. I wasn't expecting compliments from you today.
Like, your finger has an extra finger on mine.
Yeah. All right.
This is your most interesting division?
Yeah, because there's just a bunch of storylines like we just talked about. I mean, the A's are historically bad. Angels, what are they going to do with Shohei?
Can the Seattle Mariners win the West? Or should I stop asking that because you're just going to give me the I believe in baseball
Yeah, they
answer?
can. They can win the West.
That's fine.
They can win the West. There's 6 freaking games.
I live in the same boat. Like, that's how I view baseball.
Like, haven't you? I mean, if you watched baseball over the years, I mean, you've seen this story happen. Teams come from behind and they, go on runs. Like,
yeah,
that's what happens.
No, I mean,
there's still how many games left? 70 games left. 70 games.
Right. Where if the Texas Rangers go 500, which, by the way, BBD, can you get the Rangers butter knife with how bad it's actually been?
Yeah, off the top of your head, do you have the date?
I don't.
That's fine.
I know at one point there was a 10 and 15.
Since June 1, they're 17 and 19.
So, no, I mean,
Okay,
if
let's play the
June
grid.
10, 12, and
Most
17.
likely scenario. Do you think it's Houston
I hate that
wins
we now
division?
have a fake grid in front.
Houston wins division? Is that the most, press the button?
Of baseball fans?
For you. Like, if you're trying to...
If I had to bet a team to win the West, I would currently bet the Houston Astros. It feels like
it's crazy to say that.
It feels like they've been in a slog. And this could not matter at all. But think about the Astros' personalities.
DGAF.
DGAF.
To the max.
Slash.
Ooh, give me a slash.
They kind of want to shit down your throat.
Oh, I wasn't going there. That's not in my lexicon.
Do you know what the Houston Astros love? That the Texas Rangers have 5 all-star starters, man. What a team they are.
I think they probably do like that.
They fucking drink that shit in, dude.
Their favorite thing is not sending people
Let me
there.
just tell you this, because I have the Fangraphs roster resource page up.
Ooh.
Shout out Fangraphs. The Rangers are second in OPS for their offense, first in runs. Those are 2 good statistics,
Great stats.
right? You probably want that. So
in my binder.
For everyone that talks about the Braves offense, which we love the Braves offense, Rangers first in average, first in OBP, second in OPS, first in runs. That's good. Starting pitchers, 4th in WHIP, 3rd in ERA. Relievers, 6th in WHIP. ERA's gotten away from them, a couple blow-ups, but 6th in WHIP. With relievers, I think WHIP's probably the most important stat for me. And they're only 2 games above the Houston Astros. What does that even mean in the whole, the grand scheme of things? Like, the Astros just know how to win
simulation
baseball games, or
the Astros are really good, and they haven't had Jordan or Altuve.
It's
Mauricio Dubon has been great for them.
Framber Valdez.
Wow, Chris Rose just woke up and he looks so proud of us.
Oh man. Yeah, that's us. Chris.
We woke up, Chris Rose.
Way to interrupt the show,
God,
bro.
that's our bad.
That's the state of the union on the AL. I mean, I think we kind of covered everything. It's. I can't wait to see what happens. I mean, we're looking at the standings right now, and in my belief, they're going to look a lot different come September.
The teams that are around, no, the Central screws everything up. One of the teams around 500, the Mariners, the Angels, the Twins, or the Guardians, is probably going to end up with like a 90-win season.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one of those teams, who would you pick?
A 90-win season? Yeah, I mean.
Like, one of those teams probably gets hot at some point. And
okay, the best of those teams,
Yeah.
Mariners, Twins, Guardians,
Angels.
I think right now the Mariners probably have the best roster.
I think you're right. That's what we would have said coming into the year.
Yeah.
The Central throws
George
everything
Kirby.
off. Oh, George Kirby. He was good.
Where's JP? You know, I need to hit JP Crawford up. He said he was going to cook me a tri-tip.
Okay.
We'll see.
You think he's out here? You think he stayed?
I think so.
I don't know.
Playing with his dog, cooking meat.
I think he went on a mini-cation.
Okay.
He's on one of those, like, Seattle Islands.
We'll text him.
You want to do some National League?
I do.
National League is brought to you by JM Warehouse. Ball and Play is rolling right now. Go check it out. All three of us are on different respected teams in warehouse history. Hook, line, sinkers, forgotten, rotten, baggage. If that means nothing to you, you should go check out our warehouse channel. Our blitzball stuff has gone nuts. The Ball and Play is getting great views. It's a baseball cricket hybrid. Ball and Play, why is it called that? Because the ball's in play. It's a game of action. Jimmy, my guy, sunk his teeth into it. It's a really fun product. Go check out the JM Warehouse today. Like that.
One of the most fun watches on YouTube.
Wow.
I'll say it.
Stamp. Speaking of one of the most fun watches, National League Baseball. We're starting out with the Cincinnati Reds versus the Milwaukee Brewers. This one jumped off the page to me, Trev, because the Reds, Ellie De La Cruz, he should be out here. Why isn't he out here? The Brewers take 2 out of 3 from the Cincinnati Reds. We have the Ellie De La Cruz stolen base game, so we will talk about that. But the Brewers take 2 out of 3. It ends with Ben Lively versus Wade Miley.
Obvious. Pitcher's duel.
1-0 game. You and Dalton's guys. And what does this mean for Milwaukee? I don't know. Willie Adames, 2-homer game. He really needed that. Joey Weimer, he had a big one in the first one. Owen Miller.
What?
Owen Miller's
getting the voice now?
Brewers, 1 game back of the Reds. And think about all the momentum that just happened in that Central. We'll get there. Marlins take 2 out of 3 from the Phillies because that's all they do at this point. They win the final 2 games after dropping the first. Wheeler Alcantara. Ooh, pump that into my veins. But these fish are different. Your guy Dane Myers gets the call, Trev. Couple multi-hit days. Brian De La Cruz, 4 for 4. Marlins, go check out their record. 3rd best in baseball? I think we're gonna be talking about them a lot. D-backs take 2 out of 3 from the Pittsburgh Pirates, and good for them. Chris Rose is writing them off. Like big time.
3rd best, Marlins.
3rd best record in baseball, your Miami Marlins. D-backs take 2 out of 3. They win that 2nd game in extras. Mitch Keller, though. My God. What a first half for him. All-star Mitch Keller. He's a friend of the pod. He came to the All-Star house, spring training house. Corbin Carroll, walk-off. And it was like, why should he even be playing? He keeps banging up his shoulder. Maybe we shouldn't. No, he's fine, and he's walking you off.
We'll probably see him tonight.
He's Seattle's finest.
Yeah.
Him and Jolly Olive kind of have the same hair going right now. Christian Walker made a big play in that 2nd game. Padres and Mets. The disappointment bowl to end the first half. And the Mets, 10 innings. Oh, my God. Hilarious.
This is what I used to deal with all the time.
This is so funny. There's a guy outside that just came through with a weed whacker at our house, so if you hear that.
Well, in the backyard.
Mets, Jeff McNeil in extras. They win that first game. The miracle Mets, right? We can't be stopped. We're getting hot at the right time. They lose the final 2 to the Padres. Snell, gross, unhittable. He gives up 1 hit.
Is he here?
It was an infield single. He might be here anyways.
Nah.
He might be sitting in the crowd with us. Like, that would be a very Blake Snell move.
Hang with us.
I'm the best pitcher here, but I'm just in the field in Seattle.
They'd be doing something charitable with the kids.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
He's going to be gaming. Mets, eat bugs, dude. Padres. Musgrove Scherzer, little wild card Eargate rematch.
Eargate. Oh, yeah.
And the Padres get it done, man. Mets, what is we doing, baby? Another team that wins, and we should probably talk about more, the San Francisco Giants. They take 2 out of 3 from the Rockies. Logan Webb. I shouldn't mention Logan Webb. They might hear about him later. Okay.
And the other guy also, don't mention him.
J.D. Davis?
New
Michael
All-Star,
Conforto?
Alex Cobb. Congratulations, bro.
That's pretty awesome.
It is cool. I like him a lot.
And that's what happened. Should I do the IL too? We're kind of doing an ALNL thing.
No.
Let's cut the music here. Cut the music here.
Let's talk NL, and then you can just burn the ALIL. What? Hey, man.
Zach, go yell at this guy taking care of our yard.
I'm trying to ground out there later with my bare feet. We did that.
We
this
did
morning.
ground to start the day. The three of us.
I feel connected.
Zach, have you grounded yet? Okay.
Indoor
grounding.
I do a lot of indoor grounding.
Trev, your National League.
My National League. Where do you want to start? Because
Let's go Central again.
Yeah, we did
I think
Central. Okay.
that is my most interesting division in baseball. And interesting means different things to different people. I have no idea what happens.
Let's start from the bottom, because that's what Drake would do. Cardinals, one of the worst teams in baseball. Let me say that again. Cardinals, one of the worst teams in baseball. We're sitting right now with a .422 winning percentage, 38-52.
They still make me mad.
14 games, right? Is that the math?
Yeah.
Under 500? I think you nailed it. I think they're going to sell. People
You have to.
Cardinals fans keep telling us that's not what they do. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's because they're normally good, but they're fucking terrible.
They got a couple guys who are, free agents at the end of the year. I think they move those guys. I think Flaherty is pitching somewhere. I don't know what to say about them, man. It's been tough. It's been disappointing. And they still have such a good roster.
The numbers.
I just don't understand it, man. Please, Cardinals fans in the comments, just help me out here. I don't get how it's gone so poorly for them.
I think the secret is Jake's secrets. Winning's contagious. That's a popular sports phrase.
Okay.
Losing's fucking contagious, dude. And that team loses.
But they should. I guess. I mean, that's
right.
That is. That is some analysis, right?
Basically, the same record as the Nationals.
They're a little bit better than the Nationals.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, that's good.
They're 11.5 back of the division. I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on the Cardinals.
Don't.
The Pirates as well. After the really hot start, we know where they stand. They're 3-7 in their last 10. 41-49. They're out of it.
Is it too proud if they don't trade McCutchen Santana's, or do you say, hey, this has been the fun year. These guys have been a part of it. Let's just let it ride. What prospect capital are we really going to get for them? Although McCutchen's had a nice year.
I don't know what I would do in that situation.
Yeah, give me front office Trev. What do you do?
Well, I think you did bring Kutch back to be a mentor, and it is a nice story. I know that nobody wants to say that, but I don't know if they were banking on production like he's given them. He's done really well this year. So I think they find themselves in a position now where, like, shit, like, we could get something of value for him.
Trade him.
Or, I mean, I don't know. Does he want to come back? This isn't like he's done playing after this year.
And he, lives in Pittsburgh. He has,
I don't think he lives in Pittsburgh.
I thought he did. I thought that was a whole thing.
I don't think so.
He's probably got a couple cribs.
He's probably got a couple cribs.
He's probably got a couple
Beautiful
basements.
family, I'll say that.
Beautiful guy.
I love Andrew McCutchen. He is let me just give you my list of guys I love. And this is not the end of the list. It's just off the top of my head. Trey Turner. Love watching you play ball, bro. Evan Longoria. Yeah. I just love you.
We knew that was going to be there.
And Andrew McCutchen. Just love you.
That's nice.
I have my friends too, but
those
are my guys I'm looking at as ball players who I just love.
The more interesting topic, if we're being honest, a lot of teams want to plunder the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
And if you're the Cubs, do you get plundered? I think you do.
42-47 right now, 7 games back in the division. In the wild card, they are 6.5 back. Yes, I think they end up trading some of the people they brought in. Bellinger's had a really nice first half. I think you kind of cash in on that. He's a premium piece for a contender. An outfield that can play really good D, who's kind of found his stroke at the plate. So you're getting the offense back. You can dream upon a lot of different things offensively with him, and he's going to play a great outfield, center field, wherever you put him. So I think he's gone. They have some other guys that you could probably talk about. this is kind of, preseason when we talked about the Cubs, this is kind of where we landed with them. Like they have these guys, they could go for it, see what happens. We like the roster, but if not, and they kind of find themselves middling around, they have some trade pieces.
No, it's going to be
That's
interesting.
where we're at right now with them, essentially.
I think they're going to go, if you are trying to plunder the Cubs, I think they're going to wait till the very last moment because they have they open with the Red Sox and Wrigley. Well, that series can go either way.
Yep.
Sure, it's
Into
baseball.
the Nationals.
Nats, Cardinals, White Sox, Cardinals.
They have a nice core here, too. That's the thing. You got Seiya Suzuki locked up. You locked up Ian Happ. Chris Morel's been great, and he's young, and you have him for a long time. You have Nico Horner. I mean, you have like a nice group of young players.
Steele and Stroman have been like the best 1-2 punch
Steele and Stroman
in baseball.
have been the best 1-2 punch in baseball. Not the best, but one of the best.
We talk Stroman trade stuff. Like, I don't know.
That situation is very interesting to me. He has the opt out. He's going to opt out. He keeps saying, "I want to stay in Chicago," putting the pressure on. I kind of love that from him. And I don't know what they do with him because they keep saying they're not negotiating and they haven't talked about it. But it's like you should probably try to negotiate a little bit.
Negotiate just a little bit.
Yeah, but he could demand a lot of money too. So he says he wants to be there, but that's what he's supposed to say. And he could be asking for a lot in a long-term deal. He's 32 years old. What do you think he's asking for right now?
Stroman, I'm 32.
32
I'm one
years
of the
old.
best pitchers in baseball.
You just
currently.
saw guys get locked up into their 40s.
I mean, I'm asking for everything, right? But I think
do you think he's asking for
I think he'd
6 years or 8 years?
I think he's asking for 8. I would think he lands at 5.
He's one of those guys that is always saying, I'm going to age better. I work harder than everyone. I take care of my body. I think he's going to land at 5 years with a high AAV.
With what he just did, he could also do, put another opt-out in there.
And
he's a big bet on himself guy that he would probably sign like a 4-year deal, higher money, and put that second year opt-out in there just so he can hit it again because he believes in himself, which I don't know.
If I told you now that Marcus Stroman would sign a 5-year $150, is that like outlandish?
No.
It's kind of like the price of a good starting pitcher now, right?
Yeah.
30 M's? Or is that too much? Do you think it's more in the 20 range?
That's 30? I'm so bad at math. I had that as 25 a year, so that's where I'm at.
Okay, that'd be...
all of this is kind of irrelevant, Trev, because I want to know who's going to win the NL Central.
Well, you didn't answer my question. Is 5 years $150 appropriate for Marcus Stroman right now?
Right now, yes.
Okay. You're looking at that sub-3 ERA?
Like we say with baseball, Marcus Stroman has had bad halves of baseball, and that could happen, and then it changes the equation so much. So,
if I could go back in time, the one thing I would change in my career would be to try to really strike when the iron is hot. I think, that's...
that's my secret to, the MLBPA winning is, figure out a way to get, an early opt-out clause for players in their arbitration.
What does that mean?
If players... Oh, my God, our guy outside with the lawnmower.
Before, I don't think Mike's picking it up. Might be getting
that time. He's really letting it eat now.
This is what I used to deal with back in Magnum Con Studios all the time.
I've always said, if 6 years of arbitration, right?
You've always said that.
If you could have players, if in your 5th year of arbitration you ball out, there should be an opt-out,
It's never going to happen.
I know, but there's a way.
Teams love control, bro. It's never going to happen.
If you could do something,
unless the player said, okay, we'll take a cap, which is also never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. Who wins the NL Central?
Shoot, man. This is a very interesting division for me because with the Reds, and again, I talked about this with Chris Rose, I think that's going to be coming out today. And we do have a lawnmower, and that's a blower, I think. Okay. If you can hear me, I'm curious to see how the Reds respond in the second half because...
Why is he blowing it this way? Front's the other way.
Where is he blowing it to? He's just blowing it to the other side of the yard. It's like he's picking it up.
This is a 10 by 12 foot yard, and my guy is out here with the blower eating right now, just feasting. Did he even cut anything?
Is the window shut? I can smell the gas from the blower right now. Can't you?
Yeah, I left the window cracked.
Kind of like it. Not to be okay. Anyways,
does it not have slight feels? The AL West, which you said is your favorite division, the Reds have just had this magical run. The Cincinnati Reds. Baseball is back in Cincinnati.
Yeah, no, it is. They're a very good team. They can score, dude.
They're a game up on the Brewers, who the Brewers have felt like they've been a malaise all year. And you've got a team with a track record of going to the playoffs in recent years. It's obviously not Houston's track record, but some kind of similarities here that you're telling me we come out of the All-Star break, Brewers have a good series, Reds have a bad series, Brewers are in first place.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's where we're at. For me, Cincinnati is the story here because they have had this run that they've been on since Ellie De La Cruz has been up. Yes, we know about everybody else. There's a lot of really good players on that team. Votto's coming back, having fun. It's a great story.
Dude, balling out, too.
It's a great – he had a little lull. He had a little lull.
This series.
Yeah. I want to see how they respond. They're going to get some guys back, too, which is cool. Like, I hope for their sake that we didn't just see their best brand of baseball and they have more in the tank.
What we still don't know.
Because they're scoring at an absurd rate. They're winning games in all these different ways. So, I mean, maybe that is – you could take that and say, well, yeah, that means they're going to continue to win. If they can win games in a bunch of different ways, then that means they'll continue to do it.
We still don't know what they are.
What do you mean? Hold on. Why do you say that?
Because, Trev, they just went on a nuts run of baseball. They just went
22-8 in their last 30, 14-6 in their last 20.
Like, that's not sustainable. That's what I'm saying.
Is it not?
Correct.
Okay.
Like, the Reds aren't going to win games at a 75% clip. So it's just, are they winning games at a 60% clip? Are they just above 500? They could end up below 500. There's a ton of kids on the team.
No, I think they've proved enough now that they are going to be at the top fighting with the Brewers throughout the rest of the season. They're not going to – this team's not going to fade away. They're not.
Yeah.
There's too much talent there. They are going to get Hunter back, which is going to be awesome to see. I mentioned that on Baseball Day as well. I want to see how he does coming back into this mix, which is he hasn't had this in Cincinnati. We're like they're on top of the world right now. I think he's going to feed into that, dude. That's the kind of player I think he is. Where if you put him in a situation where it's like, hey, we're good, make us better, I think he's going to take that challenge and run with it, man.
I said with Texas and Houston, I like Houston. Again, they have a lot more of a resume. In the Central, if you're telling me to pick between Cincinnati and Milwaukee, I was just going to say Cincinnati confidently because there's something powerful about that much youth balling out and the city's into it. And Ellie De La Cruz is special. Everyone's in on that. I was just about to say confidently, like, give me the Reds and let's see what happens. What's gone right for the Brewers? Yelly good?
Yelly's having a pretty good year right now.
Like Yelly's playing a little better than you'd expect.
Otherwise, the normal things have gone well for them.
We every time we talk about the Reds, we say there's 8 guys that we didn't expect to play this well. Who on the Brewers is overplaying their expectations?
Wade Miley, Julio Teheran.
Yeah. But
those guys have done it. Those are the guys. So they've picked up the slack of tough Peralta first half. Corbin Burns been up and down. Had some good starts, had some bad starts. He's taken the pill though. Woodruff's been out. The bullpen's been fine. I've actually seen, for some reason, I've seen a lot of Devin Williams blow-ups.
Interesting.
But he still has a 1.8. So I've just been watching when he's given it up. So they have a good back end of the bullpen. Like the pitching that's their calling card, dude. And a couple guys have been better than advertised, I guess you could say. I mean, Teheran, I don't think had pitched in the big leagues for a while. He's just back.
Just came in and balled out.
Doing his thing.
I'm going to fade the fade. Give me the Brewers. Willie Adames hasn't done much for them.
Yeah, I'd like to see them make a move.
We always want them to
I
make
think
a
they're
move.
like in the same boat as the Twins. I mean, I don't know if Brewers fans want to hear that from me, but like they need a bat. What are their rankings? I need to check. I mean, it's not good. I know that.
It's not good.
If you look at their offensive rankings throughout the league, I mean, they're bottom tier.
Just let's see. Let's get some quick Milwaukee numbers.
Okay.
Did the Reds do anything at the deadline? Same kind of veteran. Same thing you'd say about the Orioles, right?
I don't know that.
Get a veteran arm.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that'd be nice. I don't know if they're going to or if they are going to say the same thing. Like, we have Lodolo coming back in August. We have Hunter Green coming back. Like, Abbott's been great for us, and we can figure out the rest. Ben Lively, I keep mentioning his name. He's I do, and we had a lot of fun times together, me and Ben. I think they have enough on the squad, at least the way they've been playing. Do you want every team can add a bullpen arm? Every team probably needs a starter. So maybe.
Brewers are bottom 10 in batting average, on base, OPS, runs, and homers. Can I tell you, if I was just a little better, if I brought that 1% better every day, I would have known that the Reds and Brewers play right after the All-Star break.
Yeah, there was the games, break, and the games, yes.
So that's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great. Brew Crew wins the series before the break. We'll see what happens after the break. And, yeah, it's going to be a dogfight between those two teams. And
Ashcraft, Abbott, and Lively versus Burns, Peralta, and Miley.
Here we go.
Fire me up. East or West? Big Poppy.
Let's go east. Let's go east.
To the East. To the best of the West.
Atlanta's the best team in baseball.
Easily.
Like, I don't think there's any disputing that right now.
No.
So Atlanta's the best team in baseball. They're going to win the division. Miami has been the surprise of the season, I think. Like, you can talk about the Reds all you want and what they've been able to do. And I know, like, it's flashy and Ellie's doing his thing and all this, but
that's interesting, Trevor.
how could it not? They are the surprise of the season. And Sandy, who, is the unquestioned leader of the staff, hasn't even really pitched to what he's used to.
Diamondbacks. That was my Chris Rose impression.
I think it's the Marlins. Diamondbacks have a case for it. The Reds have a case for it, but I think the Marlins are the surprise of the season in what they've been able to do. One-run games, they're doing it. They're getting some timely hitting. They should be way better. People like to point this out, that they've really only lost to the Braves. Like, they're 1-9, I think, against them now in the season. And they've gotten just demolished in those games.
Yeah, if you chop out the Brave games, I think they have like a plus 60 run differential or something like that.
Yeah, and they'd be like, instead of whatever this is, 14 games over 500, if you just put them at average, they'd be like 18 games over 500 doing their things. It's very impressive what they've been able to do. They have a great utility player on there. What's his name?
Not saying it.
Come on, the people love it.
Not saying it.
It's Joey Wendell.
Did he not get invited out here?
I don't know.
Joey Wendell.
Hasn't he been an All-Star? Has he been an All-Star?
I would bet on Joey Wendell.
No, that was Whit Merrifield's coming out.
If we set up that old MVP 2005 target practice and you had to like hit the targets for points, give me Joey Wendell.
Joey Wendell would
I'll slap
beat
it around
your
the field.
ass if he ever met you.
I'm ready for that.
What have you been saying about me, dork? Grabs you with his bare hands. They're so calloused. What's going on over there?
God, baseball. Miami Marlins.
Yeah.
Yeah, did he change his bio?
Ooh, good one.
We
Let's
haven't
check
checked
that
his
out.
Twitter bio in a minute.
Follower of Jesus Christ, husband, father, infielder for the Miami Marlins.
Play
Nailed
baseball on the side. A lot of guys do that. Okay.
So it's a
nice
really cute
profile
picture.
pic.
Joey Wendell is awesome.
Really cute
It's
profile
awesome.
pic.
I don't like when you say his name like that, but it's so funny that I ask you to do it all the
I
time.
opened it up more. The more you zoom, it's so cute.
So I don't think, Miami is going to be interesting to see what they do, how they approach the deadline. They've swung and missed on a few bats here and there. But they're a team that I feel like really is like one trade piece away from being like legit. So,
But that trade piece has to be a hitter, right? Because if we're doing the whole Marlin stance, it's never been pitching.
Yes.
But who's one big hitter that the Marlins would bring in that would actually change our view of the Marlins from surprising team to contender?
Juan Soto.
You're not wrong.
Give you an answer.
It's not wrong, but
he's not available.
He's not available.
I'd have to. We're doing the trade deadline episode after this, so let's just table all
It'll
these
come
talks.
out Friday. We've done it. It's been on the Chris Rose rotation the past couple of years. We're bringing it to Talkin' Baseball, so really fun episode. That's going to be the Friday up. FY.
I don't know. There's a lot of guys they could bring in.
Phillies, I don't really think there's a conversation, right? Like they got hot. They are the Phillies.
They're in a wild card spot, I believe, right now.
They're
a half game back. Excuse me.
There's confidence that if there's a move to be made, they'll make it. Dombrowski's done that. I guess
confidence factor on Phillies making the playoffs.
Who are we wrestling with?
They're half back of San Francisco, 3 back of Arizona.
I'm in on the Phillies.
Do they catch the Marlins?
Trey Turner hasn't gone. Harper hasn't really gone, right? Like, I think they've got a lot more that can go right for them.
Didn't Harper just exit a game? A little scary.
Could barely throw, and he was out there trying to hit.
Maybe not.
Dude's got 3 homers.
That's the crazy thing. Yeah.
I would
bank on some positive regression.
Marlins versus the Phillies.
Yeah. Right now they're 3.5 games back of the Marlins.
I'd go Phillies, but I'm not confident in it either way. And I want to say that more so as a compliment to the Marlins because I think the Phillies are good. I think the Marlins are good too. I think winning is contagious. Like if you want to get caught up in run differential to the point that we have to butter night out the Braves games, whatever. But they've won a ton of baseball games. 3rd best record in baseball.
Yes. Mets losers of the Mid Bowl.
Yeah.
Against the Padres. They won the first game. Big for them. You're right. A lot of people were texting me, hey, we're back.
Yeah.
I mentioned Ken Fuchs on the last episode.
Shout out.
And he was really excited about that because he said people told him about it. And now I don't think you're that excited, Ken, because we're talking about you guys losing the series, limping into the All-Star break. 6 games below 500. 18.5 back of the Braves. But 7 out of the wild card. Okay, that doesn't sound any better. Thought that was going to sound better for you guys. It doesn't.
Are the Mets and Padres missing the playoffs? Like, yes. I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of good teams ahead of them. There's a lot of good teams ahead of them. So,
dude, I always get sucked into the Padres.
What I think about for the wild card is this. You can compare teams and say, okay, I can see them. And 7 games doesn't seem like that much over the course of a season. I just kind of went on a rant about that in the American League. The amount of teams that you'd have to jump and the quality of teams that you'd have to jump means something to me.
Yeah.
So, like, they'd have to jump. The Padres, who they just lost to. But the Brewers, the Phillies, Giants, who I think are just better baseball teams than them right now.
Snakes or Dodgers would be in that equation, too.
I mean, if you don't believe in the Marlins, then
I know we can't say it yet because we need to get to the deadline. And to give the Padres a little bit of credit, they've shown just enough juice to continue this conversation on, and maybe they'll continue to go more. I mean, these are 2 massive disappointments.
Oh, yeah. We just talked about the biggest surprise.
Like,
the
I don't
Miami
know.
Marlins, these are the 2 biggest disappointments.
Historic sounds dramatic, but
it's
the spending sprees these teams just went on.
That's what's tough for me, as a former player. You guys know that I used to play. One time I got a nice hit off Felix Hernandez in Seattle.
It was nice. You got beat, but
I was 2 strikes. I put the
was
ball in
0-2,
play. The
yeah.
Yankees could learn something.
Win your losses. Oof.
well, hitting coach.
No.
Coach Trev?
God, now I forgot what I was going to say, dude.
I'm sorry. I got so excited.
What was I have no idea what I was going to say.
Mets, Padres.
I don't know.
You used to be a player.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Them sucking.
Well, when
and
you
paying
have
money.
owners that invest in players like this via free agency, mean, the PA loves it. Obviously, the players love it. I mean, you're getting paid for, what you think is an accurate amount of money to fit your skill level. When teams like this, the Padres and the Mets, who have the payrolls and the expectations, flounder, and we have the Marlins, whose payroll is very low, and the Reds, whose payroll is very low, it makes it more palatable for the ownership and the front office to say, look, see?
All right.
See?
Why would I
and
do
sell
that?
to the fans. And now fans are like, oh, we don't need a payroll. We need prospects, and we need – and that's kind of the back and forth that the league and the PA plays. So this is bad for the PA and player salaries, to be honest with you, when you have teams like this with the big payrolls not performing. Because they can point to it and say, that's why we're not doing it.
Fangraph still has the Mets with a 15% chance to make the playoffs. Do you agree with that? You're my percentage guy.
I think 15 is a great number for them.
Okay.
All the teams that are close to being dead, I give them a 15% chance.
That's not bad. That's not a bad rule to live by.
Yeah.
Everyone gets 15. A couple you figure it out. Has the Padres with 32%. So the nerds think the Padres have double the chance to make the playoffs than the Mets.
Well, let's get into the West.
Which I think I agree with. I think the Padres' talent is more blinding than the Mets. They've been playing a decent brand of baseball. And if I'm being honest, do I think the Marlins have some slip-up potential? I do. I don't think the Phillies have a ton of slip-up potential. They're just going to be the Phillies.
Yeah, I think the Phillies are going to make the playoffs.
The Giants, Snakes, and Dodgers all have some slip-up potential. Obviously, the Dodgers, the brand and what they are. But the feel of this Dodger season has been different as they're in first place.
That's the thing, dude. Just like the Astros, they've been hit with injuries, kind of throughout their lineup and their rotation. Had to bring the kids up. Even preseason, Gavin Lux going out, tough for them. He was going to play shortstop. Now they got Mookie Betts playing shortstop and mixing and matching guys. It seemed like a season that not a lot has gone right. You can talk about Kershaw and, obviously you still have Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts doing a thing. But, for their expectations, it hasn't seemed like they haven't fired on all cylinders yet this season, essentially.
Right.
And
you could say the Dodgers are in first place. You could say the Miami Marlins have a better record than the Dodgers.
The Marlins have a great record. The Dodgers are 51-38. They caught the Snakes, which I think is a very interesting storyline because, the Snakes have been, I think, playing a little bit over their head, and things have just been really going right for them, and they play a great brand of baseball that we really like. And I'm happy for the season that they've had, and they've done everything the right way, and everything's just happened, and all of a sudden the Dodgers have caught them. It's the All-Star break. They're tied in the win-loss columns. You
also mentioned this with the Houston Astros, the don't give a fuck stat.
Yeah.
Dodgers
don't care. They know they're going to be there.
Their rotation right now is Urias, Gonsolin, Grove, Sheehan, and Miller.
Yeah.
Kershaw's
fake IL.
Their IL rotation right now is Kershaw, Buehler, May, Syndergaard, Pepio. So they've got two rotations.
Buehler's still trying to come back this year. That would be crazy. We're still working on the yard out there.
We're still
moving
really
the table
working on the yard.
I like it. Maybe some water would help. I don't know. They might not have sprinklers here.
No sprinklers in Seattle.
What do you got on the Giants? Because I think they're one of the more interesting teams. We do kind of lose them in the baseball world. We're talking about other teams. The Giants kind of just are there. They're doing their thing, but they're getting the pitching. The youth movement there has been invigorating for their environment. And here they are. We talk about the Dodgers, lying in the weeds. I think the Giants love lying in the weeds. Gabe is naked out there in the weeds waiting to pounce.
He sure is.
49-41. They're 2.5 games back of both the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. They have all the pieces to make the playoffs. I think right now they are in the wild card spot, half game above the Phillies, half game above Milwaukee. What do you give them? Do you think there's going to be 3 teams from the West in the playoffs?
I'm not fully in on the Giants.
Why?
I'm a sucker for stars.
You are a sucker for stars.
I think Gabe Kapler's their star.
He's not their star.
He's not their star.
No.
No, and I know, one of their pitchers. I think you're going to talk about it in a minute.
Two of their pitchers.
I don't know. I like the Snakes. I like the Dodgers. When you start getting into the wild card teams, I think I'd like those teams a little better. It's not trying to be Giants slanderous. It's just I think I like other teams more, and I'm just being attracted to players' names, if I'm being honest.
Okay. I think the Giants know how to win baseball games and don't give away a lot of baseball games. How about that?
Okay. I like that. That's important.
I think the lineup is long. They've had some guys really perform. Bailey's a guy they point to that has come up and done a lot of things. They're bringing the kids up as well.
Matos they called up.
Yeah, he's been all right at the dish right now, sitting at a 658 OPS. But guys like Lamont Wade's had a really good year this year.
Really good.
And then it's just kind of like a lot of solid play. Yeah, Jock Peterson at a 120 OPS plus, Conforto's 104, Ystremski's 114, J.D. Davis 119. Tyro is on the IL right now. He was 108. So you just have like a long lineup of guys. Some of the guys they have brought up, like a Casey Schmidt and like a Matos, they're kind of struggling offensively right now, but they have enough length there where it doesn't matter. And then the back end of the bullpen's good. The starters have been really good. It's just they're going to be in the mix. Whether we want to talk about them, whether you're attracted to their names or not, the Giants are going to be there. We've learned that over the last couple of years that organizationally they're very sound. Are the Giants the new Cardinals?
I have them.
Let that sink in a little
Giants
bit.
fans, close your ears. Why am I making enemies in the Bay?
Yeah, dude.
What
it's
am I
early.
doing? I have them missing. I have them
I
have them as the first team out of the NL playoffs.
I don't. I think
day of the
ownership.
season.
I think like the front office and ownership are like hungry to get into the playoffs. I think they're going to be aggressive. I'm in on the Giants, man.
Okay.
If I had to give you Giants or Snakes rest of the season, just straight up record, you're going Snakes?
Snakes.
Okay. Obviously, you're a Snakes guy.
Snakes. Love the lineup.
Okay.
Love the lineup.
I think they're pretty similar teams.
Hey, if the Giants outperform the Snakes, I would not be surprised at all.
Okay, well, that you just changed your answer.
I'm not changing my answer. I'm taking the
Padres.
Snakes.
We don't have to talk about the Rockies. Shout out Kels. We kind of talked about the Padres a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I got nothing more.
You're out on them on the playoffs?
If I had to pick,
because you just said you're out on the Giants in the playoffs,
right? And no, if I had to pick one of the miserable teams, Mets, Padres, like Cardinals, if you really want to throw them. Who else has been like a big disappointment? Anyone in the AL? Not really, right?
Off of my phone.
I'd lean the Padres. Like if I had to throw a flyer on one of the most disappointing teams, It would be the Padres.
That's because you love
They've
Blake
been pitching so well.
You love Blake Snell.
I love Blake Snell.
Okay. That's like your guy.
They've been pitching so – I've said it so many times. They've been pitching so well. They have a historic top half of the lineup. You said they were going to –
Have they been historic, though?
How many games have all four of them homered?
Fuck, none. Can you guys do that for me? I put you out there.
You said that was going to happen like 12 times.
It should, dude. Like, if you really think about it, like, hit some homers, guys.
Yeah. I'm out.
I don't know.
Who wins the West?
Dodgers. The Dodgers, they have been, it's just so impressive what they've been able to do. They brought a few guys up that have worked as far as the pitching staff. Sheehan's been pretty good. Bobby Miller's had his starts, a couple ups and downs. Grove and Stone are a little more of kind of swingy for them, if you will. But they're going to be there. They're good.
Come on, Snakes.
What are the Dodgers going to do?
It's Dodgers till it's not. They're not going to do...
Starting pitcher and a reliever. That's what Chris Rose says. Package deal. Lucas Giolito, Ronaldo Lopez to the Dodgers.
Chris Rose trade draft.
That's National League talk. You want to burn the IL so we can get in the second half of the show?
Burn the IL. We'll highlight.
Cool.
Some
I'll be
more
right
of the
back.
series.
You got it.
You're out. You're Audi 5000. Take it sleazy.
Like a bird?
I'll do the IL. Just got to find it. Cubs, Yankees. Okay, let's do it, peeps. In the Interleague, the Braves took 2 out of 3 from the Rays. Your 2 best teams in baseball? Why not? Braves won the first 2, 2-1. Charlie Morton versus Tyler Glasnow, the old man and the sea. Sean Murphy with the big 2-run homer. That's the difference in that one. Big old feet. Spencer Strider comes out for the second game. Shuts them down. Sean Murphy, home run again. The Rays get their first win in July. The Yandy Man can. Isak Paredes, Arozarena. They win 10-4. They get to Bryce Elder. One of the first times he's been really knocked around this year. You've heard our thoughts on Atlanta. Rays get on the board for July. The Chicago Cubs take 2 out of 3 from the New York Yankees. Jameson Taillon, who had been the worst starter in the National League, shuts out the Yankees for 8 innings. Yankees win on cold day, and they get a little bit of offense. Stanton, 2-homer day. And then they have a lead in the third game. Get a little momentum into the break, right, fellas? Not so much. Yankees, they blow the lead. Glaber boots a tailor-made double play ball. And Yankee fans weren't surprised when that happened, and that's the worst part of it. Cardinals take 2 out of 3 from the White Sox. No thanks. Just no thanks at this point. Nationals, they take 2 out of 3 from the Texas Rangers. Told you there's some Texas Ranger butternut stats there that aren't looking so good. Meanwhile, these Nationals, they're going to be a fun trade deadline episode team. Joey Meneses has a big game in that second one. Alex Call, Luis Garcia, they won't be traded, but good games from the kids. And Patrick Corbin, how about him? 7 innings pitched, 1 Ernie. Is he? Are we finding it? Are we back? Dodgers, they win 2 games against the Halos. 11-4, 10-5. Just big boy. Mookie Betts. Are we too bored with Mookie Betts? I think so.
No, we're not.
I think we need to talk more Mookie. And that's what happened. That's what happened in the Interleague. So with that essentially brings us to the second half of the show. Which, Trev, you were mentioning some bird stuff before. I'd like to mention bird dogs.
Well, bird dogs are real. Other, like, actual birds, fake.
Right.
Yeah.
Birds, fake. Bird dogs.
Real nice.
Very real. They make me look good. They
do.
make me feel comfy.
You were wearing bird dogs last night out on the town. You looked great.
I'm a bird dog guy. They've become my travel clothing of choice. To and fro when I went to Chicago last week. To Seattle. Am I going to wear them fro? I think so. We'll see what the laundry situation. Oh, we have laundry in the house. Yes, I'm definitely wearing my bird dogs. Bird dogs, they're so comfy. And if you go to birddogs.com/Talkin, you enter promo code Talkin. What will you get, Trev? Free Yeti Tumb.
Yeti style tumbler that I use all the time.
Yes.
I do. It's a great cup to sip water out of or put some coffee in. It doesn't matter.
Keep your drink comfy. Keep your legs comfy with Bird Dogs. Click the link in the description. Thank you, Bird Dogs. Stand out. Perform. Stand out.
I want to make sure I'm not stealing yours.
Great.
So I'm going to point to it right now.
Okay.
On the sheet. Okay?
No, I'm not.
I'm giving the Royals some love.
Wow.
How about that? I love you guys. It's been a tough one.
Wow.
Do you remember the 2012 Home Run Derby?
No.
It was in Kansas City.
I was going to say Kansas City because I remember asking you, did Minnesota host the All-Star game?
2014.
So you just had to out-homer Dozier and you couldn't do it.
He was in the Home Run Derby, yes. His brother Clay threw him batting practice and was not good.
Yeah.
But a nice story
Enough
for them.
about that, yeah.
Kansas City starting pitcher, our friend Ryan Yarbrough, comes back. It's his first start back from facial fractures.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. When you get hit in the face,
Tell me.
It is not easy to get back in the box, back on the mound. It's It takes some balls, for
Yeah.
lack of a better term, to get back up there and do his thing. And that's exactly what he did, man. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 5 Ks, gets the W. Goes into the All-Star break feeling good about himself. And I could have went with the Tigers no-hitter, which did you even talk about that at all a little bit? A guy, Matt Manning.
3-guy.
Foley and Lange.
3-guy combined no.
I didn't go there. I went with Yarbrough because I think coming back from something like that is very difficult, and he did a great job. And I wanted to give him a little bit of snaps, a little bit of love for Kansas City Royals.
Trade for him, Baltimore. Former AL East guy, big left field. I'm just trading everyone to Baltimore.
Okay.
Trev, that combined no. I mean, my God.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Would you say a combined no-hitter is more impressive than a regular no-hitter because multiple guys have to be on that day? I don't think that. I just posed
I don't
the question.
think so. No.
I don't think so either.
No. And I've decided, perfect game, no-hitter. Combined no-hitter. I just lowered my hands each time I was making a tier list in person. Yeah, Jess is
there
out.
She is.
Oh,
there
Daddy's hungry.
Oh, my God. Who's Daddy in that scenario?
I don't know. I think BBD for a second there. I like it. I'm going to allow 2 people combine no-hitters. I think that's cool. You and me head up to the podium after the game.
Interesting.
We did it. No hits. Come get us. When there's 3, it loses me a little bit.
What if there's 6?
I'm way out.
Okay.
Way out.
Give me your standout.
So there's no point of, doesn't come back at all?
My
Yeah, I don't think there was any point to what he was just talking about.
My standout, I'm going to combine it. I'm going to go Eugenio Suarez, Mike Ford, Luis Castillo.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm going to go Logan Gilbert, too.
What do those guys have in common, Jake?
I just, I'm not the type to come to Seattle, suck up to a ton of their players just so people at the Home Run Derby are nice to me tonight. I wouldn't do that. I'll go actual Logan Gilbert. He's one of my favorite pitchers to watch. Although go look at Mike Ford's stats if you wanna chuckle.
I like it.
He's trying to hit homers and he's hitting homers.
Yes.
So good for him. I remember I asked Mariner fans, I was like, hey, Kirby or Gilbert, what do you got? Mm-hmm. And they were 65-35 Kirby, and I get why the fastball's electric. I'm a Gilbert guy. I love the way he pitches. I always say kind of mini glass now, even though he's not that mini. Fun pitcher to watch, some right-on-right changeups that always gets me going. And I don't know. I am sucking up to Mariners fans just because I don't want us to get beat up tonight.
I don't think we're going to get beat up.
Jess sees me get beat up in the stands. That would be strike 3.
Why would you get beat up in the stands? I don't think Seattle's known for beating people up.
No.
It's pretty they're nice up here.
They're very nice, but I think that's why they have questions about me.
We missed a lot of people in stand-up performances. It was a big list today. Dalton put together a really nice sheet. I'm trying to get back to it. It keeps reloading on me for some reason. So I wanted to read a few off before we moved on to the next one. You have Lourdes Gurriel Jr., 3 for 4, 2 doubles, a homer. You have Lindor doing his thing. Stanton doing his thing. You mentioned that big old ski foot Spencer Strider doing his thing. Manny Machado, 2 homers. Yandy Diaz, 3 for 5 with a homer. A lot of guys went off.
Can you tell me
for them.
who's been in Fuego? Because you might even hear some of those guys.
Dirt Nasty's on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby.
Yummy.
Like Waco.
Wouldn't mind some right now. For the series, my good friend,
What we got?
former teammate of mine, Joey Meneses, Washington's DH, 5 for 11, 1 double, 4 homers, though. Only 5 stakes with those 4 homers.
Trade him.
That's tough right there. He had a 2-daughter. You don't see 2 daughters too much.
Your team needs a hitter? Go get Joey Meneses, man.
I like Joey Meneses a lot. I think he's still under control for a long time, too.
Yeah.
So let's see what Washington does there. He entered the series with only 2 homers and 0 since May 7th. He hit 4 homers in 3 games against Texas. So go do your thing. Speaking of Texas.
Right across the field.
That thick neck son of a gun, Josh Young. 5 for 10. Oh, Olivia's FaceTiming right now. 2 homers, 5 ribbies. Yeah, you can answer. I got to read this off. He leads all major league rookies with 19 homers. And
19.
He's also at his 4th career multi-homer game and
Josh,
3rd this season.
Our thick neck king's gonna have a 30-homer season.
He's doing really well. Yandy Diaz went 8 for 13 in the series with 1 double, 1 homer, 4 ribbies. He's 1.5ing it in a 3-game series against Atlanta. He showed up to the dance. Boy, Yandy. For the week, July 3rd through July 9th, Manny Machado's getting hot.
Okay.
11 for 23. That's a 478 av. 4 homers, 13 ribbies. That's what you want to see. He's got 5 homers off Max Scherzer. Yeah.
Huh?
Hit 2 of them on Sunday. Wow. Awesome. Wilson Contreras. For those hot Cardinals, no, they're not hot.
Trade him.
They're like my coffee right now, disgustingly cold.
Just trade Wilson Contreras.
11 for 17, 4 doubles, 2 homers, 5 ribbies for a 1.9. And how about Joey Votto? He is hot again.
Yeah.
9 for 22, 4 homers, 10 RBIs. Half of Joey Votto's hits since coming off the injury list have been homers. He's swinging a big stick. Joey Votto likes to play chess.
Joey Votto.
Don't you?
I want it. He would kill me.
And this, my people, is the list you want to be on.
I love this.
From June 26th
Yes.
through July 9th, we have Mookie Betts. Heard of him?
Yes.
Is he good at baseball?
I'm glad we're talking about Mookie Betts more.
17 for 42 with 7 homers, 8 doubles, 15 ribbies, 15 runs for a 1.6. When he plays right field, doesn't like it that much. 243 with an 874. Gross for Mookie Betts. Yeah. I would have freaking killed. I would have done a lot of things to have those numbers. When he plays the infield, though.
Would have killed what?
I don't know where I was going with that one. That was strange.
Would have killed.
A gopher. A crow.
No, you do that for fun.
When he plays the infield, he's batting .331 with a 1.1. He is a utility player, like it or not, people. How about Jarren Duran?
Would you have killed a former teammate to have Mookie Betts' stats?
No, I would have killed a person.
Nobody finds out.
No. That would just haunt me the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, you
I'm
know
not
about
into that. I'm like not into killing people. So.
You don't have to do the killing. You just declare them dead real quick.
I apologize. I don't want to kill people. Jarren Duran, 17 for 35, 6 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers, 11 runs, 3 stolen bases.
Man?
People are calling him Corbin Carroll Light. That's not a knock on you, Jarren. I'm sorry. That sounded like a knock on you. Spencer Strider, obviously, doing his thing. 3-0, 3 games started, 20 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 30 Ks, 1.35 ERA, .85 whip. He just is so good, dude. Over his last 4 starts, he's allowed 1 homer. 2 starts prior to that, he allowed 5 homers. That was he got hit around a little bit. He answered. He's fine. He's going to be pitching in the World Series probably. And that's who's in Fuego.
Those guys, Spencer Strider, man.
Dude, his legs and his feet are not real. Like, that's how I know we're in a simulation, too, because, like, someone messed up.
Like, they just kind of fucked that one up. Okay, I like that.
Legs too
sliders.
Big. Freaking skis for feet.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
30 strikeouts in 20 innings.
He strikes out hitters so easily. It's kind of bizarre. My sweet Jessica was in the kitchen and got really excited for a moment. I was like, what just happened? She has a friend who named their dog Mookie Pets.
Love that.
So when she heard Mookie Betts, she got really excited.
My
that answers a lot of questions.
uncle, when I was young, had a golden retriever named Mookie, before Mookie Betts.
Wow.
Yeah, this was like 1990.
Early in the Mookie game.
Yeah.
After
There's been other Mookies around. Yeah.
I'm going to do this, IL, because it's important to know what's going on going into the break, coming out of the break. Tommy Edman for those Cardinals. Hot teammate, Wilson Contreras. Brian Hayes.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I think Kutch went on too, right?
Kutch.
Yeah.
So that's interesting for Pittsburgh. Estuary Ruiz, who had been leading the AL in stolen bases by a mile.
Yeah. Yep.
He goes on the IL. Jake Bowers for the Yankees. Dansby Swanson for the Cubs. That supposed to get. Just got excited again. Go Doors. And Dansby. Hello.
He's hot.
Jose Alvarado for Philly. Returning from the IL. This is more fun, and I didn't mention it in shows where Yankee fans are at. Carlos Rodon, one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Yes.
Returned for them and became an afterthought really quickly.
He was like good in the game.
He was really good. He looks good. He's a very fun presence and character.
We didn't get to care about it.
G-Man Choi back for Pittsburgh.
Love
sure.
that. Yep.
Keel Badu. Where you at, Fuzzy? Riley Green back
Where
for
are you
Detroit.
at, Fuzzy?
They're always the gamer guys are here.
They're here.
They show up.
They're gaming.
Oh, Ben Lively after the game Sunday.
No, he returned on Sunday.
Oh, he came back. Thank God. Dude, this is why this segment.
He came back and shoved. It was him and Wade Miley dueling it.
And another hitter came back for the Orioles, just what they need. Ryan Mountcastle, also related to my Jessica. His wife's bachelorette was the same weekend in Key West as theirs. They met up on the party floor. Couple ball players' wives.
Yeah, 100%.
Must be nice.
Yeah, wags. I think that's what they call it.
BBD, hit that.
Awards.
I am gonna shout out Kelsey.
Shout out Kelsey.
Shout out Casey.
Shout out Casey.
Hot. I am going to give out the Christmas in July award. Do you know what month it is?
July.
And do you know that month, the word month is derived from...
Oh, my God. I heard you guys
moon?
doing this yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't, but
Okay,
now
just
I
figured
do.
it out. Yeah. Anyways, Christmas in July, right? When you think about Christmas,
Right.
what do you think about? Like, as far as like... as treats. You're a treat guy, right? Why is that so funny?
Love treats.
What do I think about Christmas?
I'll get into it.
Man, the tree.
That's a good one. Gingerbread cookies.
Yes. Yes.
You
No, you
bake
led
the
me right
cookies-
into
You nailed it. You bake the cookies
Hell yeah.
and you decorate them.
Yes.
And then you eat
Gingerbread
them.
houses.
Now let me ask gingerbread house. Do you, before I get into my award, you have a gingerbread cookie?
You're not into your award yet.
They're shaped like little men. Do you bite the head off first? Or
Yeah.
are you an appendage guy?
I eat all the limbs. So I'll go head, arms, legs that I just end up with the We just got an image. Chris Rose is walking across the lawn now, and he's got an energy drink in his hand
Oh,
at
man.
8 a.m.
We're getting a
Your
little
award.
Okay, sorry.
We got a little kooky. Everyone's waking up. We're kooky now.
gingerbread.
Yes.
Love it. You apparently eat the head first. Great.
Yeah.
Christmas in July. Why am I saying that? Why am I relating?
Great question.
I'm going to bring it all together for you.
You're a storyteller.
That's what you do for awards, bro. Going into the break, we had, speaking of ginger, 3 redheads ball out before the break. Number 1, my guy, Logan Webb. What did he do on his last start before the break?
Was he complete game shutout?
Complete game shutty with 10 Ks, no walks. Redhead, hot, doing it.
Wow.
Kyle Gibson, famous redhead.
Yeah.
Probably the most famous redhead in all of baseball now is
not
Kyle
true.
Gibson. What did he do against my Twins?
Yeah.
7 innings pitched,
11
2 earned runs, 11 Ks, 1 walk. He
Okay.
gets it going into the All-Star break. And another one, probably the most important one for me and the most special one, I think, Alex Cobb, sneaky redhead.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah.
our friends, early
Yeah.
spring training 2020, we always talk about that. That was before the world changed. 6 innings pitched against the Mariners, no earned runs, 7 Ks, no walks. 3 gingers, Christmas in July, getting the job done. You know what they get to do during the break? Sit back and think about that last start. Alex Cobb going to the All-Star game. I think he's 35 years old right now. It's his first time going. There was a really cool video
pretty cool.
of
That's
Gabe
pretty
Kapler telling him, and like he was emotional about it, man. He's worked really hard to like stay an elite pitcher.
To be good at baseball at 35 years old is really hard.
And he's just done
And
what he
he's
needs
peaking.
to do.
He's peaking.
He's an all-star. I wanted to shout that out. I wanted to relate it. I thought the ginger thing was good, so I went Christmas in July, and
Yeah.
that's how we got here. So snaps for Alex Cobb.
I can't believe you went gingerbread.
Where else would I have gone?
Well, if you're going ginger, like we had like sushi last night, there could be some
Pickled ginger. I
Seattle.
gave Chris Rose a turmeric ginger shot before we went to the airport. A lot of different ways, but those 3 guys doing it before the break, and then
Right.
Alex Cobb getting the all-star nod I thought was cool. Go check the video out.
Gibby punching 11
Yeah,
tickets.
well, Twins are down bad offensively.
He's got
No
two
offense.
11 strikeout games this year. Twins and Tigers.
What's
Alex
your
Cobb
award?
in your book, Trev?
I think he is.
He is in your book.
Yes. I think I got a splitter off.
1 for 3 homer.
Just turn on it.
Yeah.
Hands in.
Gibby did. I don't think I ever faced Gibby.
Can't. Great award, Trev. What do you think about with Thanksgiving?
Ooh.
What pie
shoot.
do you think about?
I think about football
Okay.
first. I don't like Thanksgiving food. Like it's just
Really?
It's just what I like.
I do.
I'll crush it. It's great.
I do.
Everyone's like, you eat the leftover turkey sandwiches. No, I don't, bro.
It's the trick of turkey. Like, turkey's kind of mid, but everything else around it is pretty good.
See, but I think turkey's really good.
Dark meat or white meat?
Both. But I don't eat it the next day. I don't care. Like I'm back to like my regular scheduled program. Give me some tacos. Give me some sushi.
You know what I think
give me
you
some
need
Thai
on
food.
Thanksgiving? Humble pie. It's a time to
I
check
feel
in.
like I humble myself.
Know who got a lot of humble pie?
Yes, I do. I know where you're going with this.
Alek Manoah. He got a lot of humble pie.
Yeah.
He talked that talk for a couple years.
Let's just talk about the timeline real quick because if you
Okay.
remember early on, we had Anthony Recker, call him out,
How about that?
saying like, get in the gym, bro.
Yeah.
So we had to deal with that. Bad start to the season. Go on.
And Jake's rule of winning and being good cures everything. He was that. For 2 years, he was one of the best pitchers in the American League.
Yes.
Young. Comes out this year. People thought there might be some shift regression.
Chris Rose and I took him to be our Cy Young of the AL.
Me and BBD did a top young pitchers draft because it felt like kind of a generation of pitchers had graduated, like that Flaherty, Giolito,
Big group
Freed
had, like,
generation.
turned
Like,
27.
they became vets.
Sure.
That it was like, who are the next young guys? You couldn't make the list without Manoah.
Yeah.
It was impossible. He'd been incredible. Some people thought there'd be shift regression. His pitches and seeing them and watching them, it was like, wow. And I guess all the metrics were like, they're moving 3 less inches. It was crazy stuff. He lost it. Mm-hmm. That he gets sent down to the Gulf Coast League. We're theorizing what they're going to do, get in the lab, just let him rest, blah, blah, blah. He comes out for that first game, and, hey, as someone who represents the Yankees fan base, boy, were the kids excited to fire off their tweets about
Yes.
Alek Manoah
Yes,
getting
they
lit up
were.
in rookie ball.
Yanks rookie ball.
And then the sports cycle moves on. He gets another minor league start, and it's kind of clean. And everyone's like, okay, good. Alek Manoah, good for you, dude. He shows up Friday night, 6 innings, 1 earned run.
Yep.
And a team, we've talked about a lot of the teams, Toronto, for where they're sitting, Rays fluttering in a little bit. Toronto, it doesn't feel like they've clicked, and they're still sitting in a fine spot.
Yep.
And who knows what they get out of Alek Manoah. But, I mean, in baseball circles, the conversation, was Alek Manoah going to go down as an asterisk? Like, is he going to be a Jolly Olive video?
Oh, my God.
He's back in 4 weeks. 6 innings, 1 earned run.
I'll pat myself on
Good
the
for
back a
him.
little
Still
bit.
might get in a Jolly video.
Still might.
He might. Told everyone, don't worry about the complex league start. It doesn't matter at all. Like, he needed the mechanical tweak, dude. Maybe a little mental reset. Guys have gone on the mental health list. The Twins put Jorge Lopez on it. And, could it have been that, too? I don't know, man. I don't know the guy. I didn't talk to him about it. But I did know that you don't just go from here down to the ditch that quickly. Like, there's still plenty of great baseball from Alek Manoah, and he showed it. So I am happy for him because not only did he get called out by Anthony Recker, and that Alex Verdugo called him out. Like, it's been a humbling year for him for sure, and maybe he'll end it on a high note.
Go Jays. Trev, Davis, Chris Rose in the kitchen, Jess floating around.
I had my chain popped the whole episode. Didn't know.
Yeah, did. It looks good.
Yeah. Whoops.
Julio.
Talked about it earlier.
How good's that yard look out there?
Going to the Derby tonight.
Don't
Thank
talk
you,
about the
guys.
yard. Jake sucks.
Live at midweek, Optimism Brewing,
Roll through.
and then the trade draft episode Friday.
Giants gonna make the playoffs.
They miss on the final day.
Oh my God.
Oh, that hurts.
Yankees gonna make the playoffs.